Nuku is contesting against poverty. He's contesting against underdevelopment.
So we have been involved in the community. The issue of, doing something, showing a footprint. We have actually been involved in the community doing things.
The whole issue about elections, the candidate tell the people, who are you? Why you want a job?
Most of the major challenge in my GB, especially the young folks.
We want that tax to come with compensation.
Okay.
We empowered those young people with employment opportunities.
Okay.
For me, it was imperative because these were young people that were disenfranchised and marginalized in our society.
Even in the opposition, his political leader Bernard Nair, zero disagreement with Costa because of that.
Settle with Honorable Cabinet Janet. We owe him, and it is already been said that indeed we should pay.
Would you, a Mexican, to be like your honorary consul in Mexico? The answer is no.
They are not charging the national president the fact and the truth of leadership.
Okay.
They are very, very unfair.
A lot of young people benefited from a scholarship, including President Chairman Molu. I look forward to a day when President Buya will suspend Mobake Molu for not controlling the partisans for attacking candidates.
We need to teach civics in all schools across the country. We need for citizens to know their basic duties and responsibilities.
The Constitution is for the people. And before the people make now a constitutional amendment, they must be educated on what they are making.
When they receive this information, they don't even verify. They don't look at the questions on the actual test. There are times I will give a children maybe 40 questions, they give us 50 answers. What do they take the additional 2 questions from?
We have gone through a lot. If you realize that you are not satisfied, launch a proper investigation. Let this investigation go on, and then we realize who did wrong or who are the perpetrators, and then they be brought to book and to the public, right?
Show them that we'll work together in making sure we can get to the bottom of this investigation in establishing the perpetrator of the act.
When we have leadership, key actors, key players in the opposition community, we have protection under the law. But even right now, the Liberian National Police is a partisan police.
What a pleasant way to welcome you to today's presentation of the KMTV Morning Show in Liberia. I'm humbled to be here this Friday. Today is the 2nd day of September 2022. Welcome if you're just joining us, wherever part of the world you join us from. My name is Amos Thomas Momo, and this morning we're going to be having a very frank conversation with great personalities of Grand Bassa County. Just to have informed, this program is live on KM Radio International, KM YouTube page, and our KM TV live feed is also relayed on Buto Radio in Sino County on 102.3 megahertz. Our man Sagashis is there doing extremely well for us on a daily basis. He really our program. Want to say thank you so much, Sagashis, for the great job you always they're doing for us. And so this morning our special guest is Honorable Victor Zient, Liberian based in the United States of America. He's aspiring for the District 2 seat of Grand Bassa County. He will join us. But the issue, just before we rush to our guest, the issue of death in Maryland County is alarming. Yesterday you followed the program where 2 medical practitioners was in a serious clutch. Everyone defending themselves and stuff like that. Just before the end of yesterday, we received another information that a 20-year-old girl was found dead in a home in Maryland County. This is the reason why we firstly rushed to Maryland to speak with the man, Brian Dio. Brian Dio corresponds for KMTV there in Maryland County. Brian will join us this morning to tell us exactly what's going on with the issue of death in the county. So we'll join Brian shortly as he comes on. Whatever you are joining us, just be right there. Let's have ourselves a wonderful time. We want to say hi up to the guys of Buto Radio there in Sino County. Brian have joined us. Good morning, Brian. Thanks for joining us.
Huh?
Good morning, Brian. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning, Amos. Good morning to those listening to KMTV.
Okay, the issue of death in Maryland County is seriously alarming. On yesterday, there was some, hoarding and pulling with autopsy report, the death involving a little liver coffer. And just before the end of yesterday, we got a report that a 20-year-old girl was found dead in a house. Tell us exactly what's happening there in Maryland.
Well, this is just scary to several residents of the county. The girl believed to be in her 20s. Her name is Sodi Nana Hemene. Sodi is a student of the William B. Stockman University, and she's directly based on the nursing department.
Okay.
On yesterday, we received a call from several community dwellers. Indeed, over and over and again, the friends of Sodi rang her phone, and they couldn't get her on the phone. It was on Tuesday, in fact, when they said she complained of stomach pain. In fact, she communicated and chatted with a few others on the social media that she has stomach pain. So on Monday, she was lastly seen on the main campus of the university. On Tuesday, she wasn't seen around her own community that is in N Street. She was also seen on Wednesday, until on Thursday when her friends blew alarm, and they were able to invite the Labor National Police as her resident in N Street community. The police went forth and invited the medical personnel who went with family members as well, and they were able to forcibly open the door of Sodi, and later on discovered that her lifeless body was sitting in her room, directly on her bed, lying flat on her stomach. Immediately, the checkup was done by the nurses, and she was pronounced dead by medical personnel. Immediately, also, you have the 50-man coroner jury being set up. The 50-man coroner jury reported that indeed the body of Sodi was intact, and they also said there wasn't anything from the observation, there wasn't any foul play from the observation, while at the same time they reported that she might have died as a result of either a stomach pain, because she was discovered lying on her stomach very flat, and she might have struggled for her life prior to getting out the ghost. And so as we speak, community dwellers are said to be a bit afraid, despite of 50-man coroner jury saying the body was intact. But they are afraid, Amos, and in fact, many of them are calling on the Labor National Police to immediately launch an investigation, including checking the medical records of Sodi at the G.J. Dawson Memorial Hospital or other health facilities around Maryland County.
Were the police present for the removal of the girl in question body?
Definitely. In fact, the Crime Services Division of the Labor National Police, that's the investigative team, they were invited. They were even the people who called the medical personnel, including we as journalists, as well as family members of Sodi. And so, yes, in fact, they led the team who moved in and broke the door of Sodi when they discovered her suddenly on her bed in Henry community.
But Brian, what is actually happening in Maryland? The issue of death is getting on the increase. What are citizens saying? What are authorities saying? What are those lawmakers of Maryland saying as it relates to people just dying in the part of the country? What is actually going on?
They are starting to be frustrated over the situation. Several people are expressing the same passion, indicating that indeed there should be prayers offered, be it by Christian community or the Muslim community, or the entire country should come together and pray to the Almighty. No matter how fast, Amos, you have too many young people who have died in this year. Too many people. In fact, in less than a month, we can say to you clearly that you have 2 people who died, 2 young mischievous deaths in a county, ranging from Anthony Tiaga coming as far as Little Levi Kofa. And also on yesterday, you had another death. In fact, another student of the university identified as Ricky also died just a few months ago at the beginning of this year. And so it's scary. It's scary, Amos. And too many people are calling for fast and prayer. But just before I leave you, or before you continue with other questions, reports straight in from British Southern District State this morning that a representative aspiring for the upcoming 2023 elections, identified as Thomas William is said to be dead in Plibo. In fact, we've been told that his close friends that Thomas was seen in Plibo in a meeting, strategic political meeting on yesterday at around the afternoon hours, pushing up to the night hours. But at night, the report indicates that he wasn't feeling better. And so what they did was to follow him to the Plibo Health Center where he worked. In fact, he's a DSO, that is the district health officer of Plibo. And so he was carried to the health facility, and he was pronounced dead. Immediately he was taken at that facility. And so as we speak, the entire Plibo Southern district is said to be upside down. As a matter of fact, this is a very friendly young man. In fact, one who was also vying for a political position. So many are insinuating that family members are yet to tell us as to who was last seen with the late Thomas and exactly how did it go or how did it happen. Because too many people can confirm that there was a political meeting in Harbour where he had his followers in a meeting, and in fact, he communicated with the followers just by the afternoon hours. And also another meeting with people from Harbour District, because he was contesting in Harbour District. Another meeting was held in Plibo with people from Harbour District, some of his people from his hometown. And that meeting went on successfully. So what actually led to his death is something shocking to too many people in the county this morning.
Okay, finally, before we leave you, how was it yesterday after we concluded with the discussion involving the two pathologists in the heavy argument?
Well, the argument of center stage in the city of Harbour by the night hours, when a repeated version of that interview was played on Fitness FM again. Too many people, you could hear from the street corners counter arguments. People were saying that the pathologist who was brought to the county president of pathologists, they didn't do well according to some of them. Many of them say, yes, that was exactly what they expected. From schooled or trained pathologists, as they refer to some personalities, to have done other investigation as the guests you had on the show directly said on yesterday. And while the counter argument between the guests and pathologist Cody didn't go down well with citizens as well. Many of them say they both they didn't proceed rightly in terms of the arguments. In fact, some of them blame pathologist Cody of not being respectful to his colleague who was on the show. In fact, they said the pathologist Cody who have explained perfectly or who have counter argued with the guests you have on the show with sufficient evidence, and instead of went about attacking the personality or taking the credential of his colleague who was directly on the show.
Okay.
So the satisfaction is said to be here in the county amidst these mysterious deaths, ranging from the pathologist report up to the two mysterious deaths from yesterday up to this morning. And the county is not very satisfied, I can say to you, Amos. People are said to be very sad with the situation in the county.
So bad for the people of Maryland, and hoping that those authorities, lawmakers and county authorities can put their feet to the fire in making sure that they can curtail the mysterious killing of individuals there in Maryland County. Just recently, death investigation was conducted on Leo Lever Cover, and on yesterday, another body was found in a house there in Maryland County. Too many deaths coming out of Maryland. I think the government needs to focused and see exactly security apparatus, see exactly what's unfolding as it relates to some of those deaths. But thank you so much, Brian Dio. We're hoping that we can have you on Monday with a fresh edition of the show. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. Have a jolly weekend with the KMTV family.
Okay, Brian Dio corresponds for KMTV there in Maryland County, and he joined us. And seriously, the issue of death in Maryland, I myself, though I'm not in Maryland, but I'm very scared for the people of Maryland, because it keep increasing, and investigation will be conducted. You will not get no redress. It's actually a bad time for the people of Maryland. But we're hoping God that things will come on a normal standstill, and government can rush into to see how best they can put those situations under control. This Friday morning, like I said, we have a special guest. He will join us this morning from the United States. of America, the state of Minnesota. He's a Liberian from Grand Bassa County. He's aspiring for the District 2 seat of Grand Bassa County. He's been involved in lots of developmental work there in Grand Bassa District 2. He's involved into construction of roads, helping of old folks, and the rest of it, education as well. He will tell us exactly some of his work and his interest in aspiring for the seat of District 2 in Grand Bassa County. But just before that, some of his workings will be brought to you, and as we bring on Mr. Victor Zien on the show. Let's just see a few of those things he's involved with as we bring him on this morning.
Ready to see. Where are you first? They're putting the other side. Where to my baby? Where to his soccer? I didn't start playing when I was little. Let's go now.
That what you're saying, they won't follow the food. But they don't follow food now, you go rest. Rest with her. Yeah, and then I'm for that.
These are some of the workings of Mr. Victor Zien, our guest this morning on the show from way there, Minnesota. This is the KMTV show, the morning show here, and it's in Liberia. Mamazi Liberia. I'm so sorry, mommy. Liberia. And it's in Liberia every Mondays to Fridays, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. here in Liberia. I'm humble. My name is Amos Thomas Mobo, and this morning we have Mr. Zien as our guest. Good morning, Chief. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Amos. And good morning to the peace-loving Liberian people. And for the people.
You got to be a bit audible.
Good morning, Amos.
Okay.
You getting me now?
Very well. Let's go. How's life?
Good morning to the peace-loving Liberian people and the people of District Number 2, to be precise.
Okay. How's life going on there with you?
Well, we thank God. Thank you for everything. I think things are good. And yeah, we're kicking.
All right. Now, tell us a little bit about yourself. Many persons will see you and don't know who I'm talking with. Though I have pronounced the name, I'll show a little bit of your workings. But who are you?
Victor Zien, a Liberian who live in the U.S. And I have an NGO here also. And I hail from Grand Bassa County. Yeah.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. You getting me? Are you hearing me?
Yeah, okay. So you here from Grand Bassa County. You have an NGO. You are a Liberian. Thank you. Now, let's talk about some of your workings there in Grand Bassa. You have been involved lately in too many developmental work. The one that has to do with roads, construction, education, ills to less fortunate. Tell us firstly about some of those workings you are involved with, and we know exactly what are those reasons behind your work.
When I visited Liberia 2020, I saw that where I hail from was still the same. There had been no change. So I decided to engage in this construction that you see going on there. The roads, the bridges, like the road from the BIA ends, going in, connecting more than 40-something villages and towns, and the bridge in Nanstown. It was very difficult for people to travel or for people to bring their produce from the other end to the market. and their produce was spoiling. Even for people to seek medical attention, it was impossible for them because when the rivers get full, no one can cross because there was nothing there for them to use as bridge. So I saw these things to be necessary for the people. So I decided to put money into it and to carry on those projects for them.
Okay, so it means that you focus mainly on road connectivities, right? You have other things you do in the district?
I focus on road connectivity, and I also focus on education. I also focus on healthcare and little assistance to old folks, and a variety of things that we do.
So let's look at
many things.
healthcare. Now, I think healthcare and education are more in central. Let's talk about your involvement with the assistance of healthcare is it across Bassa or is in a particular district that could be district 2?
Right now it's in district number 2. I started a scholarship program in district 13 in New Georgia, and then later on I moved up to Grand Bassa in the Gabriel Boulez School in New Georgia Estate. I'm looking at number 2 for now, but it's going to extend to Grand Bassa and Liberia Lodge. Yeah.
Okay. Now, education is a cause, and you're thinking about having it across Liberia. What brought about this assistance? Do we have some motivation from the other side?
Like I always say to people, there will be no reason for anyone to get in a race to run for political office if everything is done correctly. Although we know it's not going to be 100%, but at least if it is up to that tax, other people will, okay, I think this person is doing better or the person is doing well. So people will, encourage and support that person to go, further doing what they can do. But like I said, when I came down, I saw everything like still the same bush road I walk on, no car going certain places. So I said, no, I think we need to manage this ourselves. So I came in with that and decided to run for this, representative seat 2023.
Now, what's the current relationship with you and the present representative of that district, Honorable Kawa?
Oh, well, I heard about her, but I don't know her in person like that. We have not spoken before. And I think she's a good person. Had nothing bad. She had never said anything bad to me before. And I don't believe in, saying something about people that I don't know like that.
Okay. Now, what you've been down I think you've been normally in Liberia, to see exactly what's happening to your people and what are those things you can help with. Coming to District 2, what are some of the things you see lacking that you think you want to work on? That's why I prompted your action.
Oh, like you see, the infrastructure development is not anywhere, it's still the same. And we're talking about manpower, empowering our people to be able, there's a program called the Self-Reliance Program that is always the United Nations always implement that program. They call it the Self-Reliance Program, which allow people to be independent and do their own thing, like skill training and other things that you think that people can do handily. So I see that our people lack of these things and they don't have the means to go forward. I don't know the reason why. And another thing I noticed in district number 2 when I came, district number 2, the people of district number 2 is supposed to be one of the most privileged people in Liberia. The reason I'm saying this because they have companies operating in District Number 2, like the logging companies. But I don't know whether they are contributing their quota, to the community in which they are, exploring and the logs from. Because when you go to District Number 2, like Rainy right now, you're not going to get your is true. The roads are damaged, and we have the logging companies that are taking the logs out of the district, and they are making millions of dollars, and nothing goes to the people. Yeah, so that's why I'm saying the people of District Number 2 should have been one of the privileged people in Liberia, but unfortunately, they are not.
Now, to be a representative in Liberia depends on numbers, what have been the reception from the citizens of District 2? Normally when you come visit, what are some of the things you hearing? Do you think winning the incumbent in District 2 is something possible? Just sling chance, or you think it's a difficult task for you?
Where election is election, no one can say anything until the result is given. I am confident of myself, and I know what I have done in the district, resonate with the people in the district, and I know that they love me. I receive numerous calls from them congratulating me, and they are hoping that I do more. Because I reason with them, because some people do these things when they take power, and then they decide to sit back. So I think that's why they are thinking, and that is not what I am thinking. I'm thinking about pushing this to the end, and I need your support for us to do it together.
Okay, now getting to the National Legislature, if you are successful comes 2023, you have your 3 cardinal responsibilities that involves lawmaking, oversight, and representation. What are those things you think you're going to be looking at in terms of lawmaking?
Well, we have to review a lot of things that have been in place right now from the level of the House. And then if there are things that need to be regulated or to be reviewed and amended, it will be. And you have to have a good communication skills with other lawmakers to have these things happen. So I think I will be reaching out to other lawmakers to make sure that these things happen for us. Because if we only just focus on one thing, like I don't know, are you talking on the national level or you're talking about the district level? Are you still?
Both district and national level.
I'm going to advocate for the district, make sure the people get what they want, like clinic, or do more roads, empower the women, make sure we got schools for the children to go, love it to have a college in that district, at least for the children to be able to get some quality and better education. Yeah. I think on the national level, one thing that I will like to talk about, it is the Liberian people, we see them going backward than going forward. What am I trying to say? It's one policy that I, in particular, have not yet come to understand, and I think it needs a clearer explanation. But the explanation is already vivid by itself, and I think people are seeing it. It is the issue of harmonization that the proper government brought about, through its final minister, Samuel Twer. Harmonizing poor people's salary. People who make $200, how can you harmonize their salary? Maybe you take $75 from there, or you take $200 from there, or $125 from there. How you expect them to live? And this government is a pro-poor government that came for the poor people. This government, we all know this government because according to what we all have been hearing, this government came from the Gibraltar. So I think the government should have given more, attention to the poor people than bringing about this harmonization, something that making our people can't even get a meal to eat, because government don't even have buses to take you to work. You transport yourself and you're making $75, you're making $100. How much do you carry home? So I don't know whether government is considering all of these things before bringing about harmonization. Because people who were building their houses before have stuck and they cannot build it anymore because of harmonization. But harmonization is there, and you still see people flying big cars, building big houses, and the poor getting poorer, and they cannot leave from that particular place they find themselves. At least the past regime to raise salary. Some people are getting like $800, some people are getting like $1,000. But in this regime, people are not getting that, and then more people are getting $800, not getting $300. Can you imagine how the harmonization has slowed down everything? So it's one thing that I'm going to talk to my fellow legislators to see whether we can cancel that harmonization policy to restore the people's salary to them on a national level.
Okay, now with those companies that are operating in District 2 or in Grand Bassa County, have you been able, though you are not government official or a lawmaker, have you been able to engage the authorities on seeing how best citizens of the county or district can get their due benefits? Or you are looking at getting at the House of Representatives and pushing forward the benefits of citizens from the companies?
Like we know the system in Africa and Liberia, to be precise. If you are not in government, nobody listens to you. The folks of number 2 district the other time blocked the road. And I released a press conference supporting them because it was non-violent. They have the right to express themselves and to protest peacefully. Because they live there. They see what is going on. You can't get a whole community where you just get a minute of them taking money, and the vast majority suffer. So they were right. I released a press conference through WJ and the other Radio Dubai and other radio stations in Grand Bassa. They were right. And for your question, if I try to engage any of these people now, you know it's not going to go anywhere. The first thing here, because before you start engaging people, you should have the documentation on hand to understand what they are doing, what they are not doing, the consensual agreement. Then you understand whether their quota is human-friendly in the community or not. But if it is not, you can't go anywhere because you just be talking off head.
Okay, now are you part of any political party? Are you trying to join one? If you are not, and which one are you trying to join?
The Liberty Party.
Oh, Liberty Party. You are a present member of the Liberty Party?
Yes, indeed.
What's your relationship with Madam Yombli Kanga Lawrence?
Oh, we got a good relationship. We got a good relationship.
She's your political
political leader? Yes, she's a political leader.
Okay. He's Mr. Victor Zient, representative aspirant, District 2, Grand Bassa County. He joined us this morning from the United States on the KMTV morning show. This is your premier Liberia morning breakfast show. Is also relayed on Buto Radio 102.3 in Sino. Is live on KM Radio International. If you want to follow us via our radio, you can scan our QR code posted on the screen. You'll be switched directly to the radio, and also live on our KMTV YouTube feed. You can join us there. If you want to make a point or ask a question, you can call us on 0775271672. 0775271672 and my man say I'm gonna say 0 and 0886449850 0886449850 I mean 0 and 0775271672. If you're out of the country, you want to join us, you call us on +231 775271672 and +231 886 449850. You're going to be live on the show. This is the Morning Breakfast Show. My name is Amos. We have as our guest this morning Mr. Victor Zion, representative aspirant, District 2, Grand Bassa County. He's going against Madam Mary Kawa. Welcome back to the show, Chief.
Thank you. Thank you again.
All right. So now you think you're right, man, going against Madam Kawa going to be an easy task for you?
Well, nothing is easy in this world.
Okay.
Even the food we eat is not easy. So, but government is continuity. So, even America has served for 12 years. And if I even win her, I still respect her. Because there are some ideas she has that I would like to seek. And I would always like to work with her. And I will always ask her, if there's anything she thinks we can do together to uplift the people of number 2. Because that one person can do it.
Do you think the lawmakers of Grand Bassa County are doing just to the people of the county, looking at all of the difficulties they are going through and you coming to help them? Do you think there are some lapses, major lapses that you can point out?
Yeah, I think there are lapses in the work the lawmakers are doing. But you see, everybody want to shift blame. Nobody want to take responsibility of, the lapses that are going on, or come together and say, look, let's work it together. We have politicized everything in Liberia. We have divided ourselves so deeply, politically, with various political parties. That also hammering us from doing what we're supposed to do. Yeah. Like the Arsenal mental issue, it was one thing that I expected them to have put their foot on high, but they didn't. I remember Vincent Willie Blaster in the house, and he makes some statements like, I will expose these people, I will this, I will that. But after certain
so
meetings,
let me hold you there and take this first quarter, please. Let me just hold you there to take this person. Hello?
Morning.
Hey, good morning. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
What's your name?
My name is G. Gibson.
Oh.
And I speak to you from Grand Bassa County, the City, District number 2, the BIA Junction. Let me comment your guest in the studio. He has been doing extremely well. Honorable Victor Zion, who is the founder and CEO about the Zion Foundation. He has been doing extremely well when it comes to the county, when it comes to the district. When you walk in the district right now, you will hear his name in the mouth of people. You will hear the sound of the fellow people singing the sound. Because when you do great things in your district or that of your community, these are things you expect to see, to hear from people. So let me say thanks to our leaders. When you go there, we come with broken activities in the district. He's the one carrying on that project right now. When it comes to safe drinking water, our people used to drink from creeks. Our people used to drink alongside the river. But today, on Zion, have done extremely well. People have now gone to hand pumps. People are now getting on back to get on 2-3 hours business because they have a paved road to Honorable Peter Zion. So I commend the incoming lawmaker of District Number 2, Grand Bassa County. Keep on your good work. You are not become a lawmaker and you start doing the kind of what more you become a lawmaker. You do more. So the people appreciate you for that. We, the citizens of Grand Bassa County District Number 2, we say thank you for such a well. We are waiting you to reward you with the position of a lawmaker in the district. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You hear him there from Grand Bassa County District 2, and he's commending Mr. Zion for the work he's doing and continuing to do for the people. 077-527-1672, 077-527-1672, 086-449-850 are the numbers to join the show, because we'll not keep the Honorable too long. Now let's talk on national proceeding. Do you think, though you are not in Liberia, but you have families in Liberia, you have friends in Liberia, you have other relatives that are here and feeding the serious, either good or bad side of the country, do you think this present government is proceeding in the best interest of the Liberian people? If no, can you point out some of the lapses that need to be looked at?
Oh, that's a tough question. And what I would say, it is never too late to make a change. I think our president is a peace-loving person. And Liberia problem have been people that work along with the presidency. If you are not mindful, they will drag you down. Because the president cannot be everywhere to see everything. If you will get a new president today, and the officials that work with that president is not doing good things, they're going to be the same. President should be able to take action on certain things when it comes to his cabinet members. But I think sometimes being lenient, oh, I don't want to hurt people, or I don't want to do this, sometimes it causes this problem. People overlook you, and people eat over your head in the Liberian, native saying, people eat over your head. I think that's what's going on with this government. Because when you see Iran today, those people that have been sanctioned, it is not the president that have been sanctioned. It is not the vice president that have been sanctioned. But people that are around the president, their activities have been monitored. And I can say this to you, to be frank. People in Liberia will say, oh, supporters will say, oh, the Americans don't have no, or evidence and so. But one thing I will tell Liberian people today, that they should understand, the telephone you use, who controls it? The midnight calls you make. If the Americans want to monitor it, they will monitor it. If they want to go back to 1847, if there was any telephone, they can go back to it and monitor it. So if they say something about you, although sometimes they make mistakes, but when it comes to these particular things, it's very strategic. If you want to understand this well, watch CNN, put on your CNN and see the investigation that is going on with Donald Trump. Most of his communication, they're bringing it out, he himself can't believe it. So if people say, oh, they're lying on this person, use your telephone and call somebody. If they want to track you, they'll track you. I don't care what you do. Even your laptop. They control the satellite. There's no way you can escape it. So for people that say, oh, they didn't do anything, and they want to lie on them, continue. But it took a long time for them to come out with a decision. Yeah, so I think it is not too late. Yeah, the president, the Liberian people, they love him, they put him there, they voted him to become president. So some of the key things that he look at, them, like what I spoke about, the harmonization, It really hurting the people. It hurting them. People cannot even afford their rent, but nobody will say that. Everybody think it's just okay. And security, another thing is security. If you don't have security in the country, investors cannot come. The police, those big cars, those $75,000 car, $100,000 car, take the money, go to Japan and bring enough pickups and jeep for the police, for them to run around in the town, for them to be able to put law and order in place. But you call a police officer and you say, I don't have car, you will go there to say, but then put gas in the car. That is not, it's bad. The reflection is very bad on government.
What do you make of the health sector, the education sector, the issue of corruption? Those 2 persons or 3 persons were sanctioned, and there are more needs according to SOEs coming up. But do you think our sector, the education sector and health sector, are doing well, or there are some things that need to be worked on?
No, I think the health sector is down. The health sector is down because if you had a very good health sector, people would not be going to Ghana for treatment. I think that's a clear indication that the health sector is down. And I have relatives who went to the hospital and they didn't make it, they died just from common things. People are in Cali Hospital, where used to be one of the standard hospitals, now flies and things entering there. It's not supposed to be like that. So it tells you that the system is crushing, a complete collapse in the health system and the educational system too. Because I don't think there's a proper policy put in place for these things. So we need to what? We need to put in a policy that will protect these institutions, that they will not fall completely.
Now, people may be asking, with all of these things you see happening in the country, the issue of corruption, you there in the States, you living a good life, you're getting a good money, you are well paid. What are some of the encouragement that have you coming back to say, well, all of the things I'm doing in the States here is not satisfying me. I want to come to Liberia to help, to be represented. Representative will just make 15,000. And I think you in the States monthly you make above 25,000. Isn't so?
Get to a point there. Coming down to aspire for this position, it is not about, it's what I have learned here. I think I can bring it back to my people. Although I always tell my supporters that one person cannot make a change, especially when it comes to the house. Because the house do things by consensus. So if you're voting for like-minded people like myself, who doing what you are saying, who making the sacrifice right now, who have you at heart. Don't vote people who tomorrow when you say, let us do this, they say, oh no, I prefer the brown envelope coming on my desk than it going for the community. So vote like-minded people who will do better for you. You know, I can stay right here. I do better. But what I've learned and see my people suffering, they're like, you got a drum and the drum does not have a butt, and you continue to draw water and put it inside the water, continue to go in the ground, and you have no idea. The only way you can get water in that drum is say you take that drum and fix that butt, and then you can put water inside. So the policy has to come from somewhere. Because you have to make the people to be policy oriented, that they will understand exactly what they are doing or what you are doing for them. Because if they don't understand it, they will be in a complete, dilemma, and they will not understand anything. They will just be going, going like they are now.
Okay, now let's look at your own take on the NEC now, because mind you, this race you are about to go in determine the tallying and results from the NEC, do you think the NEC is turning in the transparent and fair mode to conduct the 2023 election? But let me just hold you there as I will take this person and you will answer that question. Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for joining. How are you?
I'm okay. My name is Oliver Babier, and I do join you from Silver Compound.
Silver Compound is in where?
Station number 2, Grand Bassa County. That's
Oh.
our radio light. And I'm following by the weight of radio light.
Ah, okay. Thank you. That's
in the program this morning.
Oh, I'm very humble. Thank you so much, my brother. Let's hear you.
Like, I want to applaud Mr. Zinho, and my question towards him, our education system. What he intends, although he are doing other projects where we are been there, we call those stories and which we're following, but what he intends to improve the education setup of our district.
Okay. All right, my brother. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
And thank you guys there in Bassa for relaying our program. Thank you so much. Okay. So he's asking about your take on improving the education system in the county and the district in particular. Before we get to the question I was asking you from the NEC, just address that.
Education is very paramount, and it is the foundation of everything any human being wants under the sun. So right now, the Joseph Vodia town, we had a mobile school there. Children who never went to class before, they are now saying ABC and SSO. They just graduated. And as time goes by, we try to improve it. And other areas had far to reach places in district number 2. We are making the children to understand that education is important and they are learning ABCs. And the volunteer teachers, it's kind of difficult sometimes to have people to volunteer. And when you have to volunteer your services, they even not paid. Sometimes you need to be compensated. Yeah. So these are the things that the challenges that we are going through, and we are moving through it, and we're fighting it. We have never rated the Ministry of Education for a dime.
Okay.
We are never rating anybody for any assistance. We will be distributing copy books to other schools, and those schools that we got right now, the far to reach area, we're going to be distributing copy books very soon because school will be opening. So we prioritize education to the highest level. Like I told you previously, we try to lobby at least for a college to be in number 2 district.
No, college. That's an interesting one coming from you. Now, let's talk about the NEC. Do you think when you're looking at free, fair, and transparent election, what's your expectation for the 2023 election as it's just a few months to 2023?
Personally, for me, let me be very, I think the NEC have been doing better. People can change, don't get me wrong. People can change, but I think they've been doing better. Because for all the elections, the direct Dillon election, the Nyomli Kanka election, and other elections were very free and fair and transparent. Yeah, so I think they are doing well.
You think they are doing well now? As we conclude this morning, let's take this person on the line. I don't know who this person is. This person is calling from Minnesota. Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us. What's your name and where you call from? I know you call from Minnesota, but what's your name?
This is Amos Ryan.
Okay, let's hear you.
Good morning to Honorable President.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm calling to make a point concerning the development going on in District 2
I'm a son of Grand Bassa and Nigeria too, and I live in Minnesota. Thank you to my big brother for stepping up for the people of this too, because it's been down for the past 10 to 15 years, no road, nothing. And I hope you will do well to serve the people. Thank you.
All right. He hope you will do well to serve the people, and that's how he end up. Now, as we conclude, you are going with the expectation of winning the election, and you are going against other individuals who have a constituent based in District 2, the likes of Madam Kawa. I think other names are also surfacing in the political space in the county and in the district in particular. If you are not successful with all of this spending you are going through, with all of the helps you're doing for people, what would be your next thing?
Well, I'm going to race and I'm going to win.
You're going to win.
So if you say if I'm not, yeah. So if you say if I'm not successful, then it kind of a little bit tingle my ears.
Ah.
But what I can tell you,
yeah,
my leadership going to be a leadership of inclusion.
Inclusion, okay.
It's not going to be like the leadership now we see around. I would like to work with John J. Fagwe, the present superintendent who is governing the state of affairs in Grand Bassa. I would like to work with Mary Kawa. I would like to bring people together for us to work together. Because let me tell you something. Like I told you, government is continuity. It's not my father's house. I'm not going to remain there forever. They have other young people that are coming up that we have to breed them to that kind of style of leadership, that we will not be divided over small things. My politics, I not believe in insulting people. I believe in talking issues. When we dialogue, we're able to do something, because John Jay has his own idea, Mary has her own idea, I got my own idea. If we put all the ideas together, trust me, the people of District Number 2 are going to be very positive for them. So if you win today and kick everybody away from you, that means you'll just be doing what you think is best for you. And that's how criticism can come about. But
all right. So we want to say thank you this morning. Thanks also to the guys of Radio Light there in Grand Bassa County who's relaying our program. And also thanks to Buto Radio in Sino who's also relaying this presentation of the KMTV morning show. It comes away Mondays to Fridays. It's from 10 a.m. to 11, at times 11:30. We are humble to have this morning the Honorable Victor Zion as our guest, aspiring for District 2 seat there in Grand Bassa County. And if he's successful after 2023 election, he'll be hitting Capitol building. Oh, when you get there, we'll be seeing you. Anyway, finally, is there anything you want to tell that we didn't talk about?
Well, I just want to tell everybody thank you for listening and for their meaningful contributions that they make. I want to tell the people of District Number 2, thank you very much for all the encouragement. I yet to do more. I am doing it, but I will reach to where you think you want me to reach, because as you know, the work I'm doing District Number 2 is not work that I just handpick. You guys and myself sit and discuss it. The paramount chief, the chiefs, the elders, we all sit and we discuss what they want, and that's what we do. Like the hand pump, or they talk about, or I think one Gibson called when he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the people needed, and we have to go in. They themselves show us what they want, and we do it. We are not doing it for profit. So I want to say that, the people of District Number 2, cross your fingers, know that we are coming and we're going to do the best that we can do. That's why I'm saying we. I'm not saying me, because every one of us going to do it together. And on a national scale, I hope the government of Liberia listening, and maybe the president could hear this, that he could work on some of those little things, because he's a man of peace that we all know. I remember when I was in Ghana, he used to come there. He organized tournament, people play football. A peace-loving man. To see him now, working with people, or his regime is going that kind of way that it's not supposed to, it's kind of real, devastating for the Liberian people. So I think if the president could make the adjustment could, do better for him. Yeah. So thank you all. Thank you, the host, for this wonderful program.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Zion. He's Honorable Victor Zion, aspiring for the district's 2 seat there in Grand Bassa County. I want to say thanks to all of our followers. Thanks to my own mom there, Mother Miata Stella Herring. She always on my back, making sure that, hey, son, you have to do this, you have to do that, and putting me on the right path. I'm humbled to always be here. Monday we'll be back with another presentation. Thanks to the guys of Radio Light who've been carrying live our program, and also the guy of Radio Buto there in Sino who carrying our program live as well. Until Monday, we'll be back here. Thanks to all of our guys, the man Gibson. There are couples of names, Emma's Red, who've been following us, Mother Miata Stella Erin, Mark Eric, Amoyo Freeman, Patricia also followed, Bobbit Toma followed as well, and the rest of the guys that have been following. I want to say thanks so much, and we'll be back here on Monday with another presentation. My name is Amos Thomas Mambo, bidding you a pleasant rest of today. Bye-bye.
Nuku is contesting against poverty. He's contesting against underdevelopment.
So we have been involved in the community, the issue of, doing something, showing a footprint. We have actually been involved in the community doing things.
The whole issue about elections, the candidate tell the people, who are you, why you want a job.
Most of the major challenge in my GB, especially